All right. Good morning, everybody. Oh, my dad popped on here. How you doing, Pops? I don't know if you're going to be staying on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday morning crypto talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for being here. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share a suggestion, and it is up to you to make your own informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. So far I see live. My dad popped on. Uh, Cousin Marnita, the connectress Casa from Colorado. My dad saying I'm looking good. Hey, Dad, what do you think about this gray? I don't know about that. There's a lot more coming in. I go out with my dad, and he likes everybody to think that we're brothers. Lori K, good morning. Jody Ness from Oklahoma. Lori's from Southern Illinois. Shauna from Charlotte, North Carolina. Good morning. Good morning. Neil Brooks. Good morning, Neil, from Richmond, Virginia. Neil is another young man. And Dad, Neil's been doing well in the crypto space, and he's 72 years old. Carol Anderson, good morning, from Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, good morning. All right, so this is Friday. I want you guys to be able to enjoy the rest of your day. We've got Mary from Temecula. We're going to talk about a little bit of crypto news, some updates. I spent the day in Beverly Hills yesterday with Oscar Garcia, the CEO of Batched. There was 2 major deals that were closed. I'll briefly talk about that because he's going to talk about that on the training today at 3 p.m. Eastern time, 12 p.m. our time. But I'll share a little bit about that. And then the IMC token has now gone up to 38 cents. You know, when we first got it, it was 29, 30 cents, somewhere around there. Now it's at 38 cents. And there is a difference between 1 penny, going from 37 cents to 38 cents. It may not seem like a lot to you right now, but let's say if you're spending $2,000, $5,000, there's a huge difference between 1 penny. So the price went up again. The official launch is going to be on November 1st. I'm actually going to show the new exchange is going to be popping up on so you guys can see it. It looks almost identical to Binance, and there's a reason for that. But let me share screen, and we can go over what's going on in the crypto world today. And this Friday, as we're coming to the end of the month, with only 2 months left in 2021, and you guys are getting ready for Halloween. The crypto market cap is at 2.7 trillion. It is up 0.6% over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is at 42.2%. Ethereum 8.8, kind of looks the same. Not much movement there, but at least we've seen a bounce up. Bitcoin, I saw it last had hit 58,000, and that was bounced back up to now $61,000 a coin. Flatline the last hour, down 0.7% last 24, down 2.2% the last 7 days. See this big dip here. We've got Ethereum has risen by 3.8% in the last 24 hours, 43.45. Binance is up 5%, crossed back over $500 a coin. And we're going to talk about Binance when I talk about IMC. I'm going to put you guys in dream mode with IMC. Cardano is at $2. Solana, 198. What's going on, Frank? Carol, Adrian. Carol says, I learning crypto. That's right. Solana, $198, down 0.6%. Ripple up a little bit. Polkadot, Shiba Inu's finally flatlined a bit. Up 161% over the last 7 days. Up 3.6% the last 24 hours. Dogecoin down 5.4. Let's look at since this is Friday, the best performers over the past 7 days. Shiba Inu, SafeMoon. Did you guys also see Shiba has now recorded the first billionaire? The first billionaire off of this token. You don't need to be a Bitcoin millionaire, but just look at what happened here. I'm going to show you. And where's that article? Who sent me that article? I think Marnita posted it. If anybody has that article about Shiba Billionaire, put that, send it over to me. Like we may look at that one. Quadrillion freaking tokens. All-time low. Look how many zeros. All-time high was a day ago. Somebody who spent about $3,000 on Shiba 11 months ago is now worth more than $1 billion today. That is freaking crazy. 11 months ago to go from $3,000 to $1 billion. And everybody wants to have that type of a story. You just don't know at any given time what token's going to do that, because there's new tokens that pop up like every 5 minutes in the DeFi space. So how do you know which token is going to skyrocket and which ones will fizzle out? You know, sometimes that is the luck of the draw with those things. Whichever one gets that type of traction. You know, Elon Musk tweeting about it, Mark Cuban tweeting about it. So who knows? There you go. Marnita's right on it. In fact, that'll be the first one we'll go over. Janelle, I don't know if you're on here. I'll look to see if you say we're cool for the 9 o'clock hour. All right, let's look at this. Rags to riches story, right? Oh, I got you. I understand, Janelle. We'll work it out. All right, someone bought $3,400 worth of SHIB last August. It's now worth $1.55 billion. Whew. Just think about that for a second. Someone bought $3,400 and is now worth $1.55 billion. 11 months. A SHIB holder who spent $3,400 on the meme coin last August is now a crypto billionaire from that one purchase alone. With the asset gaining, I mean, this is just crazy. 94 million %. 94 million % over the past year. That's crazy. An address with the foresight to purchase $3,400 worth of Shiba last August has seen the value of the coins growing to a whopping $1.55 billion on Thursday. In total, the unknown person has bought SHIB 44 times since August, with $3,200 as the largest purchase at any one time. And their total holding of 70 trillion is now worth not 1 billion, 5. Gotta get a drink on this one. $5.63 billion. After the wallet address was shared on Twitter, user Untraceable questioned whether the SHIB market was liquid enough to absorb $5.67 billion. That's a good question. Let them start putting in sales orders and see what happens to the price of the token. I'm just saying, there's no way he's going to be able to cash out $5.6 billion of SHIB. What I would do, I would cash out probably like 2.5 million every other day. Just creep it in there, especially right now as the price keeps, everybody's the hype of it. You don't do one whole thing at one time. You crash the market because you're flooding it with new tokens. But you do it a little bit at a time. or $1 million or $500,000 every other day. Start selling small sales. According to Etherscan, the anonymous SHIB holder purchased a dog-themed token on 9 occasions in August 2020, spending a total of $3,400 of wrapped Ethereum that month. As the price of SHIB has gained more than 94 million% over the past year to sit at this at the time of writing, the holder has become a crypto billionaire from their August purchase alone. According to data from CoinGecko, the total market cap of SHIB is now worth 40.3 billion. Well, there is enough liquidity. I guess you can think of it like that. There is enough liquidity there, but I don't know. I mean, the asset's mammoth 1,063% gain in the value over the past 30 days has seen SHIB oust the beloved Dogecoin it was modeled on as a top 10 ranked coin. Joe Weisenthal, by CoinGecko's measurement, SHIB has definitely flipped Doge, an absolutely historic day for meme coins on CoinGecko. At the time of writing, SHIB is currently ranked 9th, while Doge is sitting at 11th with a market cap of 31.6 billion. The flipping of Doge has sparked a new meme online in which people are calling Dogecoin a boomer meme coin. Really? Doge is only a couple of years old. Boomer coin, you know, my kids, they're well, not my oldest, my youngest, he's 14. And whenever I do something that he considers old, he calls me a boomer. I'm a Gen X. My dad, if he's still listening, he's a boomer. He's a baby boomer. You know, they're the ones that need. Oh, God, I don't want him jumping on me later. But you know, technology and boomers, they have a tricky relationship with each other. Can I say it like that? They have a love-hate relationship with each other. Boomers love to use the technology, but boomers don't always understand it. Is that a better way I can put it? Boomers sometimes need help with the technology. How about that? You know, Dad, if you're listening, I'll be over sometime because I know I got to help you with something. He knows what I'm talking about. But I'm a Gen X. Gen X generation. We're the last generation in human history. We're the last generation that knows what life is like. I mean, I could say the boomers as well, but I'm talking about, you know, young enough to really, really appreciate that we know what life was like before the internet, before cell phones. And we were children still in both eras. I'll give you an example. I am 45 years old. I was born in 1976. Jimmy Carter was president. I don't remember any of that. Only president I remember is Ronald Reagan. And the, you know, Star Wars, 84 Olympics, Challenger. I remember the 80s. I was a kid. 84 Olympics, I was 9 years old. I was in Los Angeles. And so I was a kid during that time. And I remember my grandpa, the first video game system he had was something called ColecoVision. So back in those early days, you had Atari and ColecoVision were the first before Nintendo. And I used to love playing his games when we visited him and he had his ColecoVision set up. Stupid little Pong was the game. Now my kids laugh at today. But I was a kid, so I remember playing outside. I remember you have to come in when the street lights come on. I remember the ice cream truck song and running outside and looking for dimes around the house to get some 50-50 bars and push-up sticks and all that kind of stuff. So I remember life as a kid. And then the 90s, technically I was still a kid. I was a teenager in the early 90s, going to high school. And then the internet came on. The saving grace, though, the social media type recording of the internet didn't happen until the 2000s. So I was still able to be buck wild in the 90s, Morehouse College and all that, Freaknik and all that stuff, without us being recorded like everything that we do today is. Now, there might be some videos floating around, VHS tapes floating around somewhere, but it ain't like it is today. And then by the time the whole cell phones and internet was really popping off in social media, I was in my 20s, mid 20s, 25, 26, when that stuff really started to pop off. So I'm still young enough to appreciate and help bring in this new generation of technology, the internet. My parents, though, the baby boomers generation, of course, they also lived through this transition, but they're, another 20 years older. And so when you have a set of habits at that long, you can adopt the new technology, but appreciating it or it becoming so ingrained in your day-to-day life like it is for my generation, for Gen X, that's not so for the baby boomers. The baby boomers really can survive without all this stuff. They already bought their homes before there was an internet. They've already been in society and contributing members of society before the internet. So they know what to do that. Generation X, and we might struggle a little bit, but we remember it. We can survive. But the millennials and whatever generation after them, Gen Y, this is all they know. My 14-year-old was looking at a phone jack in the wall and asked, "What is that? What is a?" Because he knew it wasn't an internet jack, it wasn't a plug-in. He said, "What is that?" And I looked at him like, "Are you serious?" He didn't understand what the phone jack. What does that mean? You plug in a phone to the wall? Well, what's that? Oh, that was hilarious. But anyways, my point is, anything that I do that's considered old, my son calls me a boomer. And now they're saying the Dogecoin, that's only 3 years old, is a boomer coin. Earlier on Thursday, Cointelegraph's market team reported on the 3 reasons behind the bullish momentum of SHIB, pointing at an increase of user access via listings on multiple crypto exchanges. The launch of the SHIB, EU's own non-fungible token project dubbed Shiboshis, and a surge in futures open interest on multiple exchanges, including OKEX, FTX, and Huobi. While SHIB has seen a meteoric rise of late, Doge's appreciation fails to match up in comparison, with the elder meme coin gaining a mere 18.5% over the past 30 days to sit at 0.23 cents. Ah, okay. Doge's meme coin gaining a mere 18.5%. All right. That's all the news I want to do right now, because I went off on a tangent and I want to talk about really, I want to put you in dream mode on the IMC. But before I talk about IMC, I want to talk about the batch nodes. As we're coming up to the month end, I'll probably have a number today on how many nodes are left, because we only sell 500 a month now. And November 1st, there's going to be a couple of adjustments and changes, meaning number one, you have to, if you're going to hit the start button, you need to keep it on for an hour now and not just 30 minutes. So that's one change. And the reason for that is the system needs that time because there's a lot more holders in the system. the system needs that extra time to validate and confirm, your license being in the network. So Oscar can explain that in more detail why. And I went to a meeting yesterday to see Oscar in action. There's two parts to the batch node project. The first is what most of us are all a part of, and that is you purchase a node. The node allows you to earn rewards on a daily basis by almost, in essence, kind of like mining. And you're getting these daily rewards. The rewards are then going to be used by businesses who are using transactions to validate their transactions. That's the first part that we're a part of. The second part of that is the businesses coming on using the Ulala system to validate all of their own transactions. So there's two parts to this, and we can participate in both. We can earn rewards that's going to be used for the validation process for all the transaction fees, or we can help bring businesses on board that are using the service so that instead of them paying fees, they're now becoming their own fintech, they're becoming their own bank, and they're now earning from transactions that their members are using in their own ecosystem. So that's the side that Oscar spends 90% of his day on, is securing deals with businesses who want to white label our product and use it for their company. If they've got employees, if they've got product, if they've got a distribution channel, a network that they need to pay, or they're collecting funds, transaction. When you look at the Vatican has more than 1 million employees around the world in one form or another, and then 2.5 billion followers around the globe, but 1 million people in their network alone. Transactions. There's more than what is that final number? 14 trillion transactions a year. 14 trillion transactions. That equals up to $7 trillion a year that banks are making in fees from transactions. Just the fees alone. So what Oscar's doing is revolutionary, because he is now helping businesses become a challenged bank, decentralizing the entire financial network. So I wanted to see how he does what he does, because I work from home, and as much as I deal with people, I'm more of an introvert. I'm a homebody. I'm not out there on the streets. Now, I even can't blame COVID. Even before COVID, I've been in this network marketing, direct selling industry for almost 24 years, and I've had huge organizations around the world. But I've never, more than 90% of my teams have always been outside of LA. I have never had large organizations in my own city, my own backyard. It's weird like that. I don't have home meetings or anything like that. I'm not meeting people on daily like that. I like my seclusion to a certain extent. Now, I love to travel. That's a different thing. I love to get on a plane and go somewhere else. But in my own city, I don't really do much. That might change later. I don't really do much, though. I'm private. But Oscar, on the other hand, is out there constantly. He's out there. So he had me come down to the meeting yesterday. We were down on Rodeo Drive and beautiful hotel. It's an old hotel, but really nice, historic. Four Seasons, a Rodeo, and Wilshire, and the Boulevard Bar and Grill restaurant. And so you guys saw the live. Well, some of you guys saw the live yesterday. I did the presentation from the restaurant, and we met with. She's not a TV producer, but she has access to a lot of producers and TVs, and her organization pitches pilot programs and to TV networks. Works with Quincy Jones and the Longo Casino right now. She's working on a $600 million deal. And she had a program dealing with rewards in her ecosystem 10 years ago, where the technology wasn't available that it is today because of blockchain and crypto, to do it the right way. And so she's real excited about this network, and Oscar closed the deal. And then we had another meeting right after that with a gentleman who has numerous contacts down in South America and Mexico. And Oscar closed the deal. And it was just amazing just watching him and how he does what he does. You know, I was like a fly on the wall. So the node is going to be big, but this is still brand new. We are still at the beginning. There's no guarantee on anything, but like Shiba, do put down $3,400 and worth billions now. Being at the beginning of this, and a lot of people say, well, what if it doesn't work? What I say, what if it works? What if he pulls it off? Okay, I'll leave it at that. And then the second thing is the IMC. The token went up again. And normally it goes up every week and a half. And I'm going to share a screen here, so you should be able to see this. I told you before, or those that have been paying attention, that the sweet spot is 50,000 tokens. But the cost of that now, if you wanted to get 50,000 tokens right now, I'll show you how much it's going to cost to do that. The price is 38 cents. Okay, let me do my math. Let me do my math right. If I do 50,000, no. 50,000. So the price is $19,000 right now if you want to get 50,000 tokens. I have 46,000 plus, and I spent maybe 14K. The difference is I got it when it was 31 cents. And I just bought another $1,000 worth last week when it was at 37 cents or 36 cents, somewhere around there. So I've got 46,000 holding of this. Now, what if you just had 10,000 tokens? What's the price? That's $3,800. $3,800. Now we've got a membership package that we call the gold package. That's $5,000. Let's use that mark. $5,000 worth right now is 1,900 tokens. Okay, let's use that number. 1,900 tokens. Let me put you a little bit in dream mode. What is IMC? IMC is a native token for an exchange called the IM exchange. Why is that important? Have you heard of Binance? I had an opportunity to get Binance when it was 60 cents. Right now it's more than $500 a token. I didn't get it because I didn't think it was going to last, and I thought that the owner was going to run off with everybody's money, because at the time exchanges were dropping like flies and Binance was brand new. Who knew it was going to become the world's largest exchange? So Binance worth $500 a coin now. I had an opportunity. Well, I didn't have an opportunity. I didn't know about it too much, but another exchange called FTX exchange. The FTX exchange has a native token called FTT. That's worth, what is it worth now? FTT. I'm going to show you guys how to research too, how I figured this out before I spoke to the owner of WCL. I'll show you how I figured things out. So FTX is worth $61 right now. When it launched, it was worth $1.15 2 years ago. Okay. I just want you to follow me on this. My thought process. So if you were to spend, I'll pull up Binance first. I missed on this. Binance, $518. 4 years ago, it was almost 4 cents. So let's say you got in on this exchange during pre-launch. I didn't see it until it was at 60 cents. But let's just go with their number here. 0.39. Oh, you know what? No, I'm going to go with 60 cents. You're not getting IMC token at the very beginning. You're getting it at 38 cents. So we'll go with 60 cents on when I first saw it. And I put $5,000 on it at 60 cents. I would have gotten 8,333 BNB tokens 4 years ago. Okay. What is that worth today? If I did that and I never sold, times $518, that's worth $4.3 million today. I missed that. 4.3 million today. Let's look at another exchange, FTX. Here's another exchange. They're number 29 on the market cap. Its all-time low was $1.15 2 years ago. Right now, it's worth 61 cents. So let's say you have the same $5,000. And you got this token at $1.15. That's 4,347 FTT tokens 2 years ago. You sat on it. You didn't sell anything. And then you said, look at what the value of it is today, times 61.63. That 5,000 would have grown to $267,000 in 2 years. Okay, now let me put something else in perspective for you. Most of you have never heard of this exchange, FTX. You can't even get your hands on the coin if you're in America without using a VPN, because this exchange is not registered in the United States. Yet the owner is a 29-year-old American who did not want to go through the hassle of trying to be regulated in the United States. So instead, he launched his exchange in Hong Kong. So think about that for a second. A foreigner launched an exchange in Hong Kong. He's not native to Hong Kong. He's an American. In 2 years, he's now worth more than $10 billion without doing any business in the United States. Okay? Without doing any business in the United States. These are the exchanges where it's being sold. The FTX exchange, which you cannot, if you're in the United States, you can't even register with them. HIT BTC, Bitfinex, Binance, none of those are even in the United States. Huobi, not in the United States. Qcoin, but like I said, you can use a VPN. Poloniex, not in the United States. The US exchanges aren't even listing this token. Yet, it's worth $61 and made the owner $10 billion in 2 years. So here's how I did my research when I found out about IMC. This is exactly how my thought process went. And I did my research not because I wanted to know about the token at first, because the company wanted to use my crypto education to put on their platform. I don't just do that for any company, because there's companies out there that are scams and they would want to use my product to seem legitimate. I don't want to have my name attached to that. So I did my own research on this whole IMC stuff. and I saw that WCL has an affiliate program, which I didn't care about. I don't care about the networking side of it. The affiliate program, the commission from selling it, that's not what I care about. I care about the token itself, what the project is all about. So I looked at the exchange, and you can go to on WCL onthego.info, and you can click on IM Exchange website. So I clicked on the website. Let me log in. So I wanted to see, you know, what the website looked like, the IM Exchange, how that looks. Are they doing an update right now? Huh. I think an update might be taking place. Yeah, an update's taking place. That's why it's counting down. So I'm not able to look at view the exchange itself. On the exchange itself, the IM publicly is at 45 cents. So what happened was, IM is the parent company. They've got different branches. WCL is the marketing arm. IM Exchange is the exchange for the IM company itself. And then you have G Point Marketplaces, where they are offering their product and services, that they're selling products at a discount using their native token for IMC and the G Points. So it's a whole ecosystem, internal ecosystem. There's 300 million IMC tokens that will ever be available. 120 million was given to WCL for the pre-sale, meaning that the way you get the token is by going to somebody who's in WCL. And you can get the token at a discount. Instead of paying full price, right now it's at 38 cents. By purchasing packages, that gives you the deal. Now, when you purchase through this, these tokens are locked up for 6 months. You cannot sell them for 6 months. It's like almost like a form of staking. And the reason why is because they want to avoid a pump and dump. You know what that happens when a new coin launches, people buy it, and then when it goes up in price, everybody starts buying more. Then the top dogs sell and they drop the price. He pump and dumped it. And everybody who bought up here lost all their money because the price is now down here. So 120 million tokens being offered in pre-sale to the WCL community, and nobody's selling them. What do you think's happening to the price? It just consistently goes up. And you have now a whole bunch of holders. There's 20,000 members in this community holding IMC tokens. And that's only going to rise. And this is a pre-sale, okay? So I got that in my head. Then I went and said, okay, what about the exchange itself? What's so special about IMC? Well, the exchange is not a foreign exchange. It's not based in Hong Kong. They're licensed and registered in the United States of America, in the state of Wyoming. Why is Wyoming important? Well, over the past year, 21 laws have been put in place to be friendly to crypto and fintech companies. Wyoming wants to be the crypto capital of North America. So that way they can attract all this new business. They can be the new Silicon Valley or the new Internet 2.0. And one of the gentlemen who helped write those 21 laws is on staff with the IM company. All right, I'm connecting dots here. I'm connecting dots. So which means they're registered in the United States. They're following all the FTC and SEC rules and regulations for having an exchange with KYC, know your customer, AML, anti-money laundering, taxes with the IRS. They're registered right here. And then I looked at the marketing arm that has access to this 120 million tokens that's for pre-sale. They're not based out of Dubai or Brazil or somewhere else or Belize. They're based in Los Angeles. I'm in Los Angeles. They got 2 offices, one in Orange County and one in Koreatown, downtown LA. I visited both offices. So they've got a physical office in place with the owners who I can see and talk to, not some anonymous name in a different country. They're not hiding. I'm connecting the dots. Okay. And then I say, wow, okay, how high can this token go? And I figured this out before I spoke to the owner. Is there any, and I don't just assume, okay? I don't just make something up. I have crypto education. I know how to do the research. Is there anything similar as far as an exchange that has a native token that's been around for a while? And the answer is yes. That's why I looked at this FTT exchange, FTX. And then I did a Google on something. I said, okay, I didn't want to go to their website and any of that because I didn't want to see their hype. I said, who owns FTX exchange, right? Sam Bankman-Fried, CEO of cryptocurrency exchange FTX. Crypto exchange raises $420 million at $25 billion. People who owns FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried, Forbes, built $22.5 billion fortune at age 29 by profiting off the cryptocurrency frenzy. And he's not even a true believer. He's not a true believer. So I started looking this cat up and who he is. 29 years old, millennial. Sam Bankman-Fried made $10 billion in 2 years off of the FTX. I said, okay. So I see what he did. He didn't launch in the United States. So then I looked at them up. How many tokens? Max supply, 336 million. How many is the max supply of IMC? 300 million. Similar. What did this token start off with? Was its all-time low? Hold on. Go back to overview. $1.15. Where is the IMC token right now while it's still in pre-launch? 38 cents. At the time, it was like 30 cents when I was doing this. Okay. Their all-time high was $84. So it took more than 2 years for it to get to its all-time high. So I knew I don't look at IMC as get rich quick, meaning next week, next month, like some of you guys try to do in the crypto space. I said in 2 years, it went from $1.15 to 84 bucks. Okay. And then I looked at IMC. With IMC being registered in the United States as an exchange, that means that they're willing to do what Binance is not even willing to do. They can do business anywhere around the world. They've got a strong foundation. They can't pump and dump you. They can't run off to Brazil with everybody's money. The IRS and the FTC will bury them, the owners, if they even try to do something silly like that. FTX, he can do that over in Hong Kong and disappear, but you can't do that in the United States. So I looked at the security for this exchange in the United States for the token, that the security is there. So then I started to say, okay, if FTX that nobody even knows about can get to $84, what if, and that is a big what if. This is not a guarantee. Let me put this disclaimer out there again. There is no guarantee that you will make a profit because you purchase the IMC token. I cannot give you that guarantee. I cannot give you a guarantee on how high it will go. If it does, this is crypto. You're at risk of losing. So this is why you follow the first 3 rules in my crypto education. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get a return back as fast as possible. And then number 4, Where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years from now? Have a game plan in play. People ask me questions all the time, like the OS token, for example. So I said, Brandon, how much did you put down? I said 6,500. They said, what is that? Is that all you could afford? I said, no. I could afford to put down 20,000 if I wanted to. But I did 6,500 because I follow my set of rules. I don't care how great I may think something is, because sometimes things can happen that's outside of your control. So what if it goes the other way? In crypto, you only lose when you sell, but you can lose value, but hold on to your asset. You don't know what's going to happen to it in the future. So the value of my 6,500 dropped like a rock, but I didn't sell anything. I still hold the same amount of tokens that I bought at 6,500. It's just not worth 6,500 today. Who knows what it will be a year from now, 2 years, or 3 years from now. But at least I managed my loss or my expectation. I could afford to put 20, but I did 6,500. When we look at the batch nodes, for example, one of my mentors asked, Brandon, how many nodes do you have? I said, I have 12. He said, 12. That at the time, you know, right now it's worth $1,250 a node. So the value of 12 times 1250, that's $15,000. He said, is there a reason why, you know, is that all you could have done? Could you have got more? I said, no, you don't understand. I could afford to have gotten 50 of them, but I only got 12. Now, that's not me saying I'm not confident in the project. That's me following my rules that I have in crypto, because there's always something that can happen that's outside of your control that you don't even see, that's not on your radar screen, that you can't even predict. So I'm conservative when I'm in this space. I can afford to get 50 nodes, but I bought 12. And I'm going to buy 3 more with what I'm earning to get to 15. See, you understand this? IMC. I could afford to get 50,000 ASAP, but I didn't. I spent out of my own pocket, I think $2,000. No, 1,000. Out of my own pocket, 1,000. The rest I earned. I took the profits that I made from the commissions and I used that to upgrade my membership packages. Now I'm a VIP. Am I VIP? Hold up. Did I do that? Platinum member. Wait. Let me see here. I think that's, yeah, I'm a VIP, because the last one I need it, forget the last package, I need to spend another $15,000 or G points. So I'm at the VIP level right now. And if I were to do this, I would get another 39,000 IMC tokens. So I'm sitting on that right now because I got 2 other accounts. So, without losing my train of thought here, the IMC itself, I look at comparing it to FTX. What if, that's right, I was giving you a disclaimer. You know, I have a game plan on how much I'm going to buy and what I can afford. So if I were to lose anything, instead of, I can always tell someone who's educated in this space and somebody who's not. The most dangerous person is someone with money and they refuse to get crypto education, because that person turns around and starts crying and complaining that they lost money and they don't understand why, and they want to point blame at somebody else, while somebody like me just goes and makes it back. So the money I put on aughts, for example, I've made that back tenfold in other stuff. So I'm not sweating that. I can just sit there and hold the token. Like those of you that were involved in Prime last year, Prime Gate, they still owe me $5,000. I'm not crying about that today. I just made that back in something else tenfold. You got to keep moving forward. You can't be stuck on something that you lost and cry about it and say, oh, I lost money there. I'm not going to get involved in nothing like that again. No, you learned a lesson. You be smart about it. You keep moving forward. You keep maneuvering. But you do it in a way that if you do lose, it's not going to cripple you. So be smart. So saying all that, there's no guarantee. This is what I saw. If FTX got to $80 a token after starting at $1.15, what if IMC, that's in a so much better position than FTX when it first got started, what if IMC only does 10%? It only does 10%. Hold on, you need my help doing live crypto talk on my page at the moment. And I am talking about IMC right now. You guys can figure out how to have, okay. Yeah, I can show you that. All right. So, I mean, this is going to blow you away. This is why I am here about what I'm about to tell you. What if the IMC only does 10% of what FTX has done? And you got $5,000 worth of tokens. Well, how much was that now at today's price again? Let me do that. 5,000 times 38 cent, 38, I'm sorry, divided by 38 cents. Oh, come on now. 1,500? $5,000 at 38 cents. You got 13,000 tokens. Oh, $5,000, really? You get 38 cents. 13,000? Yeah, I guess so. That's right. 13,157 tokens. Okay. Right now. I can't tell you how long. What if it took, I'll say this. What if it took 2 years for IMC to only do 10% of what FTX did? Here's what happens. That means IMC will be worth $8 2 years from now. Times $8. You spent $5,000. 2 years later, that $5,000 will go to $105,000. If IMC does only 10% of what FTX did 2 years from now, $8. I am being ultra conservative. What if IMC only does 50% of what FTX did 2 years from now? 13,157. 13,157 off of your $5,000 today at $40 a token. That's $500,000. $500,000. Here's something else you need to understand. It took 12 years for the entire crypto market cap. 12 years for it to get to $2.7 trillion. All experts, if you've been listening to my crypto talks, all experts lately, the billionaires and millionaires, have been saying the same thing. They believe that this crypto market cap is going to jump to $8 to $10 trillion in the next 12 to 24 months, if not sooner, because institutions are coming in crypto in droves over the next 6 months. This is in the grocery store, the complete guide to cryptocurrency, where all the baby boomers are shopping and they see this. The baby boomers who are looking at their Gen X children and millennial grandchildren, and they hear them talking about this Bitcoin and crypto stuff. They don't understand it. They don't think it's real. Next thing you know, they go into the grocery store and this is in front of their face. You guys see that? This is in front of their face. Is that right, Marnita? So, 5,000 G points is 11,000. When you upgrade, but not if you were to buy it outright right now from 0, that's 13. This is in everybody's face. So why do I say that? Because if crypto goes to 8 to 10 trillion, if it goes to 8 to 10 trillion, what do you think the price of FTX is going to be? Do you think this is going to be $61? $81? Heck no, this thing might go to $400 because Binance already is there. Binance is already at 500. Binance is just older. But FTX, what if it goes to 400? So if I use that number, or let's say it goes to $500. $500. And I use that number. And IMC just does 50% of that. We're looking at $250 a token. 13,137 times 250. That's 3.2 million. What if it only does 10%, even with the crypto market cap jumping up? 13,337 or something times $50. 666,000 from 5,000. I don't know what you can afford, but this is something that you're going to kick yourself that you don't get involved in. What if it works? If it doesn't work, hey, at least I tried. Like the people that got in on Shiba. And next thing you know, Shiba, got a freaking billionaire in 11 months. At least I tried. At least I made that attempt. At least I took that risk. And what if it pans out? You got retirement. So I say this, if you are in IMC right now, do whatever you can to upgrade to the next package. And the best way to do that is by earning your way. Earning your way. Use the commissions you earn to upgrade to the next package. If you're not in IMC at all, we're extending an invitation for you to get your hands on the token. Because November 1st is the official launch of it, and it's going to be even on another exchange called the Emmet exchange. And the Emmet exchange looks like a carbon copy of Binance. And why? Because IM has an arrangement with Binance. And see, they learned from the mistakes that Binance had when it first got started. The hardest thing when an exchange gets started is liquidity. You don't have enough people on the exchange really using the stuff yet. So what IM did, said they made a deal with Binance and said, we're going to use your liquidity and we will split the fees with you until we reach a certain point and we can stand on our own 2 feet. Smart. So the Emmet exchange looks almost identical to the Binance exchange. If you pull up your Binance US and you pull up Emmet, it looks identical almost. And this is real world trading right now. You see these numbers? Look at Bitcoin. This is the buy and sell order book on the Emmet exchange right now for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 62,700. What's been going on since I've been talking? Hold up. It was at what, 61,000 when I started this? Yeah, look at this. Bitcoin is up 1.8% since I started doing crypto talk right now. 62,500. The whole market is moving up. 3%. Oh, we're seeing a short, quick run right now. Over the last hour, Solana is up 2.2%, Ripple 1%, Polkadot 1.7%, Link 2.1%, Wrapped. Who's the best performer in the past hour? Bitcoin Cash, Thorchain, Qcoin, Axie Infinity. Didn't I just talk about this the other day? Or was that AV I was talking about? I remember talking about Axie Infinity too. I missed that. It's the gaming token. I think that's the right one. I know I bought a lot on AV. Curve is up 2.1%. So as I'm speaking, the market's moving right now. So like I said about the IMC, sweet spot is at least $5,000 worth. At least $5,000 worth. If you're serious, like me, at least 50,000 tokens, which would be about 18,000 right now if you don't have any coins already. If you're upgrading, it's not going to pay that much. But you want to have at least 50,000, because now let me put you really in dream mode. I showed you numbers based on 13,000. Let me show you numbers based on what I'm looking at. And then I had a conversation with the CEO, and I told him, I said, I'm just telling you right now, I know what you guys are doing, and I know the numbers you're looking at, anywhere between $300 to $500 a token. And he just smiled at me. He didn't confirm. He didn't deny. He didn't nod. He just smiled at me when I said those numbers. So here's what I'm looking at. Get my hands 50,000 tokens. It does 10% of what FTX did. 10%. So times $8, that's $400,000 from my 15K. 400,000. That same 50,000 tokens, it does 50% of what FTX did. That's $40. That's 2 million from my 15K. Bitcoin or crypto market cap goes to 8 to 10 trillion. And I'm looking at the same 50K, $250 a token. That's 12.5 million. You think I'm playing with this? You think I want to play footsies with $100 or $1,000? Why did I drop 15K on a token nobody's heard about, that is not even live yet in pre-sale? And it's only 38 cents right now. Because this is my final destination. And I don't care if it takes 5 years. 5 years from now, I'll be 50 years old. 50 years old, and my asset is now worth 12.5 million. Is that still a good day? Because what's the alternative? Working a 9-to-5 job, making $75,000 a year, and I don't have to pay taxes, and I retire 20 years from now at 65? $75,000 without having to pay taxes times 20 years, working 40 to 60 hours a week, 2 weeks vacation, no raise. That's 1.5 million. So every dime I spend over the next 20 years is going to come out of this 1.5 million before taxes. Or I spend $15,000, get myself 50,000 tokens, sit on it for 5 years, and it possibly could be worth 250 a token. And I'm still, remember I said 300 to 500, but I'm lower than that. I'm being more conservative, below that number. 250 in 5 years, 12.5 million at 50 years old. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm done. And that's just one amongst the whole crypto portfolio. That's just one. All right. I hope that made sense. I can't light a fire under any of you if you don't already get it. You don't get the picture yet. But why people are playing with this, I have no idea. All I know is I don't care about the affiliate side. Will I make a lot of money? Yeah, I already made a lot of money off that. But this is real money. We're talking real 7-figure plus, 8-figure plus money. And there's proof that this is possible because there's an article talking about it right here. This cat spent $3,400. It's now worth $1.5 billion. It's proof of it. All right, well, that is it for Crypto Talk for today. I hope you guys learned something new. I'm going to download this and upload this to YouTube. If you want to know how to get your hand on the IMC token, send me a message and I will show you how to do it ASAP. With that, take care, everybody. I'll see you. Wait. What's going on today? What time is it? 9:15. All right, Janelle, I got you at 10 o'clock. And then I got a 12 o'clock with the batch nodes training. And then I'm done. I'm done for the rest of the day. Oh yeah, I'm putting in my security system. Playing with my kids. My kid is off today. We're gonna play with his BB-8. Wingstop Friday. Wingstop. So I'll be off the grid the rest of the day. And then I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be on the WCL IMC presentation with the CEO. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to be on it. That will be at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And if you want to hop on that presentation, you want to hear from the CEO of WCL, then you can go to WCL on the go info, click on menu, click on meetings, and every Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific, here's the link. Every Saturday. So I'll be on there tomorrow. And the month of November, I'm going to be there's 3 things I'm focused on the month of November heavily. 3 things. WCL, this IMC token, the batch nodes, and the relaunch of Twin Turbo under the new name iLearning Crypto. Those are the 3 projects I'm putting my head down for the entire month of November. December, my focus was going to shift a bit because 2022, I'm launching my own brand company. So December, my focus is going to shift to making sure we got all the content ready for 2022. And in 2022 is going to be our best year ever in business. All right. All right, everybody. That is it. I'll see you all later on the training with the batch nodes. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.